Hello again and Happy New Year. I know I am already breaking my promise not to mention the Book of Common Prayer in my next video, but old habits die hard. And there's another reason. Today is the day I'm releasing this is January 1st, New Year's Day. And though I've said in the past that New Year's Day for the church is the first Sunday in Advent, for this calendar year, I plan to do my morning and evening prayer in the 1662 revision of the Book of Common Prayer in this beautiful IVP edition. And the lectionary that came with the 1662 Common Prayer book has been restored in this edition, and it follows the calendar year. So the readings begin on January 1st, which is the feast day of circumcision, the circumcision of our Lord. So the morning and evening prayer lectionary follows the calendar year, and that's what I intend to do. It's a simplified, easier to follow lectionary than that in the 1928 prayer book. So I'm giving this a try this year to see how I like that. It's a little bit complicated. You know, they simplify this and it makes it more complicated elsewhere because the collects throughout the year still follow the Christian calendar. So there are two calendars in effect when you're using the 1662 for Mattins and Evensong, or morning and evening prayer. You're using the civil calendar, the calendar, traditional calendar year. But for the collects for each day, you'll be using the church calendar. So two different calendars in effect, but still I think more simplified than the 1928 and later prayer books. So that is why I am releasing this video today. I'm just going to spend a little time setting up this book because it came with one ribbon, and I realized today at morning prayer that's just not good enough. So I'm going to do a little alteration here. So first I'm going to need a little piece of cardboard. I'm going to affix the ribbons to this, and it's going to just be tucked down inside the spine here. I'm not going to attach it real permanently because I don't want to be stuck with those if I do a bad job or the ribbons are poor quality, which the one I found isn't the best. So a little piece of cardboard that I've cut to size, some ribbon that I found at a thrift store. I'm using white because that happens to be the right size. That's approximately the same size as the ribbon this edition came with. So the ribbons I'm adding are all going to be in white, and that's going to be fine with me because I can tell where I am in the book, not based on the color of the ribbon, but by where they are in the book, how far into the book they are. So I'm just going to measure out an approximate length and cut, and hope I did that a good length. I think that'll be more than sufficient. And I'm going to do about 3 ribbons here because I have room on the spine for about 3. And that in addition to the one it came with. I prefer to have 5 ribbons, but this will have to do. Just going to get an approximate length here. So I've got 3 ribbons here. So I'm going to take these and affix these to the cardboard. And again, I'm not making this too perfect because it's going to be kind of a temporary thing. If I like it, it should be good enough to last. But I want to be able to change it out if I do something wrong or these ribbons turn out to be not the best. Just what I found at a thrift shop. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue under each of these, line them up on here, and then I'll tape it down after that glue is set. Alright, so I got the glue there. Set these on. Sometimes I just tape rather than glue, but this time I'll glue it on. Let that sit for a moment and then I'll cover it over with some tape. Alright, so I'm just going to wrap it around once with a little strong packing tape. Even though I don't want it permanently affixed to the book, I like it to be permanently affixed to the cardboard. Good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. These things out of the way. I'm just going to slide this down inside the binding. Sort of between the cover and the tail or the headband. Made that a little tighter than I intended to, but I think it'll work. And there. That should hold. Let's just stick it randomly in here. To see how the length is. Okay, I'll sort that all out later. And then I'm just going to, this red one is a pretty good length. You can use it to open the book, and that's proper length for that. So I'm going to trim these down to the same. Alright, so they're a little bit crookedy right now, but they will do the job. They feel a little cheaper than the red one this came with, so again, this may be a temporary situation, but for use, it'll be handy to have extra ribbons. I'm going to go ahead and set up my book the way I like it. And since even 4 ribbons isn't enough, I'm going to use some book darts in addition to the ribbons. So, start at the beginning, where I would put my first ribbon is in the lectionary. So we are in, sorry, let's get that focused. We're in January, so I'll put the first ribbon there because that will move. I think for morning prayer, I'll mark that with a book dart because that ribbon would never really move. And I'll put it at the top. So that should be easy to find. It's at the beginning, so it's not difficult anyway, but the red ribbon is on the collect in the church calendar here. So that's good. Next ribbon I will put at the Psalter for the day. So we're on the first day of the month. So that ribbon will go there. And then this edition has so many additional prayers that are taken from other editions and other revisions of the prayer book from around the world. So I'm going to take the last ribbon and I'm going to put it here. I might rearrange these at some point, but for now, that's where I'm going to put the ribbons. I'm also going to add a few book darts. I'm going to put the 21st Collect to the 21st Sunday after Trinity, because that is useful in place of the absolution at morning prayer. So I often am turning to that. Okay. And then Psalm 95 is said every day. I wonder, though, since in the 1662, the psalm is complete in morning prayer as the Venite. So actually I don't think I'll need to mark that. So I'm going to keep my colors the same here. Appearance counts, even though I just put sloppy ribbons in there. Okay. So there. I'm pretty well set up now for morning and evening prayer. Might make some alterations along the way. Maybe I'll find a better ribbon that I like and I'll swap it out since this isn't in there permanently. But there we go. It's a nice addition. I'm liking this more and more. And I'm just going to try the calendar year lectionary in here and see if I like that better. It has you reading through all of the Old Testament, or the vast majority of the Old Testament, in a year, and the New Testament 3 times in a year, and the Psalms 12 times in a year. So thanks for bearing with me through this as I broke my promise not to talk about the Common Prayer Book in the next video. I'm going to renew that promise and pass it on to the next video. I will try not to use the words Book of Common Prayer in the next video. So maybe you will join me for that one.